Of BookTrib Live, a Merrill Moss media production. Today I am very excited to chat with the one and only Tawny Weber, a New York Times best-selling Harlequin Blaze author. Her latest release, A Seal's Temptation, is out very soon. We're so excited. Here it is. Sexy cover. We got the big poster in the background. And I just want to thank you so much for joining us today, Tawny. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah. We're also very excited to announce that we're giving away a copy of the book along with a beautiful handmade dog tag and ring set from Miss Ashley Jewelry. It has custom initials for whoever wins. We're going to do a nice little custom design. She creates deployment jewelry dog tags, which goes great with this cover. We have our sexy hero here with the dog tags. So stop by BookTrib after the chat and enter to win the custom necklace and ring set and the book. So it is. She makes gorgeous jewelry. She does, hand stamped stuff. It's amazing. So good stuff. Before we begin our questions, can you tell us more about A Seal's Temptation and your whole slew of sexy seals that you've been writing about so passionately?
I love these guys. A Seal's Temptation is actually the ninth in my Sexy Seal series.
Wow.
And this is Shane's story. And he wasn't a hero that I actually intended to write a book about, but I kind of fell in love with him as I saw him in the other stories, and he just had to have his own book. And he's a very shy hero. He wouldn't say shy, but he's shy. He's quiet. He's just got that strong silent type thing going. And this is a story of kind of his struggles going home. And dealing with the family issues that he has that tie into his career choices. And he has a wild fling with his sister's best friend, which was not his intention. And the story just kind of grows from there. It's a story of family obligations and of, I think, really, in a way, it's like understanding why we do what we do. Why does he do what the choices he's made, and why does Lark make the choices she does, and kind of answering to themselves for those.
Yeah. Now, I can't help but wonder if, did you speak with any Navy SEALs as a part of, research for the book?
Yeah. Yeah, I've talked to, my husband was military, but he was Army, so I didn't have the Navy in to talk to them, but, and it's ironic because I have family members in every branch of the military except the Navy, so I was like, wait, what happened? But because my husband is very active in a lot of the military organizations. I had access to a lot of Navy personnel and have interviewed and talked to SEALs, have had some really great input and help with just getting certain elements of the stories right.
Yeah. Now, speaking of just the Navy SEAL theme and the really gorgeous cover model, do you ever meet any of your cover models? Have you ever met them face to face?
I'd like to, but I haven't.
Maybe soon.
No,
maybe in the future.
I wish I had.
Yeah.
That would be a good thing. Yeah. That would be a really good thing.
We recently spoke with another author who said that she was one of the first to come up with bringing her cover models on her book signing tours with her, and it took off. And I was like, that is the best idea. Eye candy to look at while you travel around. It's great.
It would be a good book signing to have something like that there for you bring a lot more people in.
Yeah.
Big time.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't be able to sign my name. I'd be a little distracted, but it would be good.
Just feel like I can't even do this right now. Now,
just head him anyway.
Now, speaking of uniformly hot, how did you get involved writing the series? Was it something that you were invited to do? Did you come up with that? What's kind of the background story about that?
The editor at the time was launching. She wanted to increase the number of uniformly hot they were producing each year. They'd had one or two, but she wanted to start doing one a month.
Yeah.
And she'd invited me to do two. So I was asked to write two of them, and the thing was, I said, great, can I do Army? No, Army's taken. Okay. Marines? No, Marines are taken. I'm like, okay, what can I do? I should SEALs. I'm like, I don't know any SEALs. But okay, I can do this. So, I dove into research, I wrote the books. And I fell in love with writing these heroes because they are the ultimate hero. I mean, not only are they just the ultimate eye candy, these guys keep their bodies in incredible condition. So that element of being a hero is really, really nice to play with in a book. But they're so honor bound and so strong that they're just incredible to write. And it kind of took off from there. My second one hit the USA Today list, and luckily then they asked me to write more, so I've been able to just keep going. I love them.
That's incredible. And this is, what number book is this? This is number Seal Citation. Wow, that's fantastic. So in terms of your kind of, writing quirks and what type of writer you are you a plotter or do you write by the seat of your pants? You kind of just go with the flow?
I want to say I'm a plotter. I stand in the plotter's corners all the time, but my process isn't quite so well defined because I tend to I start with the concept. I start with usually the hero. I know roughly what the story is going to be, but it changes a lot in the writing of the first 3 chapters.
Yeah.
So it's not until I've written those first 3 chapters that I know I can plot the story, and then I create my plotting board and I kind of map it out and I know where I'm going from there.
Yeah.
The idea of being a pantser scares me.
Yeah. Some people, it's amazing that they finish their books. It's just they work just up to the deadline. It's crazy. But everybody works.
I do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that.
Have you ever finished like a character's story? You think that you've put them back on the bookshelf, that they're done, and then somehow they find their way back into a new series or a story? Do you ever have like a character pop back in?
I've had characters, and I think that's one of the incredible things about writing the Sexy Seal series is when they do that, I can write a story for them. But in other books, they would pop up and they're like these great characters who just are always in the back of my head. I always want to see more of them, but circumstances would be such that I couldn't write their story given what my schedule was. But with the seals, I can. Yeah. There's in A Seal's Temptation, for instance, one of the secondary characters is Shane's sister. She's not a seal, but she's getting her own story because she's too much fun not to give her one. I know I'm going to have to bring her in. I think not the book I'm writing right now, but she'll be the next one.
That's so neat that they develop and they just become their own kind of entire beast,
They're my world.
Yeah, exactly. That's so much fun. So what is your favorite scene between Lark and Shane without revealing too much? Is there a scene that sticks out to you between the two of them?
I would say, that's tough. One of two. It would either be the scene that leads up to the first love scene, just because there's a tufted footstool that I'm so in love with, and it only exists in my imagination, but it's in that scene.
That's awesome.
And there's elements of it that's like, not without giving anything away. I love that scene. And then the other one would be Shane's in the hospital, and just the realizations and the changes he goes through during that period, and that Lark goes through, having first discovered he's a seal when he's in the hospital. Yeah. It makes it one of my favorites.
The scene when she discovers that he's wounded is pretty hot too. That stuck out in my mind. She's like, "Oh no, I can't touch him." He's like, "Yes, you can."
Yeah, touch it. I mean, yeah.
Now, in terms of fan casting, which actors would come to mind for you? Who do you think is the best person to play Lark and Shane?
I'm really bad at that.
It's hard.
It is, because these are people in my head. And I know a lot of authors have this incredible gift for casting actors as their characters, and that helps them kind of have them play out the story. But I can't do that. I've never made Johnny Depp a character. I can't do it because I love Johnny, but A, he's not a seal. B, I can't make him a seal no matter how hard I try in my head. So casting him's hard. But if I had to right now, I would say like Chris Pratt. Because I'm on a Guardians of the Galaxy kick, and he just makes me laugh so hard. Would make an incredible Shane. He's got that quiet humor.
Awesome.
Would be really good.
He's the it guy right now too, so everybody loves him.
I know. I want the hottest guy right now.
So Nowhere, Idaho is the setting. So can you tell us more about how you came up with that? Is it a real place? Have you been to a place like it?
It's actually Little Lake, Idaho, but it's kind of nowhere. It's this tiny little non-existent town that only exists in my mind. I'm from Idaho. My most of my family is still in Idaho, so it's a place that I lived.
Hmm.
I still visit every year. Um, it's got the most incredible scenery. It's one of the most beautiful states I've ever seen, and it also has a community feel
Yeah.
that isn't the same as I'm in California. It's not quite the same here. So I knew I wanted to set the story in a very small community-oriented town.
Yeah.
Um, and so that's where I went home.
Awesome.
And maybe that's a part of it is, Shane's going home. So there was that, somehow that connection was in my head. I was like, I'll just go home for this.
And you gotta love the coffee shop. It's the best. Um, so going back to, as a teen or a young girl, what were some of the first romance authors that you started reading? Or if it wasn't romance, any books that you remember that you just couldn't get enough of?
I think I started reading, and I can't even remember how young I was when I started reading Harlequins. I remember one of my mom's neighbors brought a paper bag full of books over and dropped off, and I dove in
Awesome.
because I read. I mean, I was a kid that has a book in my face, bumping into the hallway
Hmm.
as I walked through the house.
Yeah.
I did my chores with a book in my hand, and so I was always reading. And then I found romance. It was just like, and I don't know. If I had to pinpoint the first author that really hooked me as, oh my gosh, I will read anything this person writes, it would be Nora Roberts.
Hmm.
I've read everything she's written. I love her books so much. And then I think when I got a little bit older, Vicki Lewis Thompson was one of the ones that
Yeah.
really hooked me to Temptation, to reading the Temptations, because I loved her humor.
Yeah, we just worked with her. She's great.
She's wonderful.
Yeah.
She's just an amazing writer and neat lady.
I love when I'm doing all the Harlequin chats and everyone's like, "Oh, my favorite is this," and I'm like, "We just talked to her last week." Oh, we're talking in the. It's such a nice community. It's really
It is.
awesome. What other genres do you enjoy reading other than romance? Do you ever delve into like paranormal? Is there anything that you ever like to check out that's not romance?
Honestly, I read a lot of young adult,
Yes.
because I homeschool. So my daughter, we tend to read and discuss the same books,
Hmm.
as we're going through. And we're going through for like the 10th time the Harry Potter books because that was her choice to start school this year.
Oh, wow.
So we dove into those. So like the paranormal young adult is our favorite for that. And I do read a lot of paranormal.
Hmm.
Um, so it would be probably contemporary romance and
Yeah.
paranormal would be the most read.
Excellent. And so, keeping with the Navy SEALs theme, what's your definition of a true hero?
That's hard. Um, Putting aside the gorgeous body, just a second. My definition of a true hero would be the one who does what it takes for the heroine to make her happy.
Yeah.
To yeah, just what does it take to give her happy ever after? 'Cause to me that's like what these stories are all about. It's all about the happy ever after. So what does he do to make that happen for her? Even when it's in conflict with what he wants,
Right.
especially when it's in conflict with what he wants.
Yeah, that's a great answer. So I was looking around your website and you do a lot of neat stuff for your fans. You have some cool like recipes and stuff. And your newsletter sounds intriguing, the Red Hot Readers Club. Can you tell us more about your newsletter?
It goes out every month. I do a couple contests. I do one just drawing of everyone who opens a newsletter is
Hmm.
put into a drawing and they will win a prize. Whoever's drawn wins a prize. Um, I have authors who donate books, so they will donate and do a giveaway of some sort. And then I also have do a promotion of whatever the book is. I have like I said, the contests that are for readers only. I have
Yeah.
insider information. And if they're on that newsletter list, they have access to the part of my website that has the recipes. They have free reads.
Hmm.
I have books. I have excerpted scenes. I have what else do I have in there? Just a lot of insider information, pictures, things like that that aren't made public generally.
Nice. Now, speaking of just like, kind of a peek inside, like what Tawny Weber does, do you have like a writer's space at your house that you love to go to? Is there like a place of solitude? Are you right there?
No, there's no solitude in my house. I have 3.5 dogs. I have a cat. I have kids.
You homeschool, so
I
like,
had a dream. Homeschool. Yeah. When I first started writing, my youngest was 2,
hmm
and I wrote in the family room, and it was
Wow.
I always said it was like a mouse cage because everyone was always piled on top of each other.
hmm
And so I had this dream when we bought our new house. It's like, well, I'll have my own private office, and I can close a door, and it won't be weird writing a love scene with the kids over there. Don't look at me. Um, and that didn't happen. My office is kind of what you would call the bonus room off our bedroom. So, my husband's sleeping, he's right there. We homeschool in the same room because we, kind of turned it into a dual full room home
Yeah.
office. So it has no privacy, but it's my happy place. And I do get twitchy if anyone else sits in my chair.
hmm
It really freaks me out. I
Yeah.
don't know why. It's just
It's the writer's chair. No one's allowed. It is your
it's like, there's all this creative energy here. Don't take
your
it. I need
sacred
it.
space. Exactly.
Thank you. Yes.
So the recipes on your website are great, and in your newsletter, I'd love to see more. Is there one recipe that's your like tried and true go-to that you're like, if you're pressed for time, is there one that you always go for that you can share with us?
That's on my website.
Or just any
It probably it was well, my tried and true is chocolate chip cookies because that's my answer to everything. But I think my favorite, honestly, is still my first one because it's a strawberry margarita recipe
Oh my gosh.
that is Audra's from Double Dare, and
Oh, cool.
it's a good margarita.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Tequila's my
Really,
favorite.
really good. Me too. And, like, mine are the alcohol drinks. Those are my favorite recipes.
Yes.
Those are my go-tos.
Okay, fantastic. You have to share that with me later.
Well, I'll
Please.
send it to you.
So,
Honestly.
as far as like collaborating with other authors in the past, if you have, or if not, do you have any plans to collaborate with anybody? Have you done it in the past?
I've done to a small degree on some of the Blaze series that I've done. For instance, nope, I was wrong. I was going to say a story that's coming out, but it's not the one. It's out in actually just is out in Brazil and a couple other countries, and I just talked to some people about it. It was feels like the first time, which is I want to say it was like my 3rd or 4th book, and it was a part of a collaboration because they were all tied together by a costume shop. But otherwise, I haven't done a lot with other authors. I've done a few anthologies, novellas that would be like a Christmas theme or that type of a thing, a fairy tale theme, which was really
Oh,
fun.
that's awesome.
But it was so cool. As I had my fairy tale was I've done 2 actually, but my favorite was the Frog Prince, and the hero was cursed by a witch, and so his tadpole kept shrinking,
Oh, wow.
which made him it was mean to
Fantastic.
him, but it was fun.
Yeah. How can
But I haven't done a lot more author collaborations. To my knowledge, I don't have any in the works right now. Although I would love to do some. I always think that's incredible fun. It's just such a good energy to get going.
yeah, it's always interesting to see how it works out. Is there anybody you would love to collaborate with?
Vicki Lewis Thompson.
Yeah.
I would love to do something with her. She's incredible. Or Robert, Jennifer Cruzy. People who would never happen.
Never know.
Those would be, just off the top of my head. I would, because Vicki does write for Blaze, but we write for such different things. She has those incredible cowboys.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely.
but otherwise, yeah.
Cool. What are some of your best memories when you've been interacting with fans at conferences or signings? Is there anything that kind of sticks out to you?
Anytime they recognize me is always incredible. That they recognize my name and like, oh my gosh, I love your book.
Yeah.
We were at conference in July. It was in New York, and RWA, Romance Writers of America, holds a literacy signing the first day, and it was an incredible experience because so many people actually recognized my name in my books, and that is just amazing. One reader I interact with her and talk to her and chat with her on Facebook occasionally, and she came down just for this signing, which was incredible.
Wow.
It's amazing to hear from readers and to know that they read books.
Yeah. And RWA must have been an amazing experience. Was that your first year going, or have you been going for a while now?
I want to say that was my probably 8th conference.
Yeah. People love.
Yeah. It's always fun.
Do you have any conferences, signings coming up like in the near future that you want to let us know about? Is there anything coming through the pipeline?
I'm actually doing a signing and a chat at the Alameda Library
Great.
on September 12th. It's up on my website.
Fantastic.
But I'll be there giving a talk about, I don't know what yet, but talking and doing a book signing. And then after that, I think the next big thing I'll be at would be the RT conference, the convention in Las Vegas next year.
Oh, that's going to be great. Yeah, I didn't realize it was going to be in Vegas. That's fantastic.
Vegas, that's my backyard. That's always fun to go to.
Yeah, that's great. So when you're not writing, which you're writing a lot, so there's not much spare time, what do you like to do when you're not writing? Any like hobbies that you're really into?
Reading? I love to read. But I do a lot of paper crafting. So I like to do, scrapbooking, card making, things like that. Anything with texture and color. I'm kind of a freak about that.
That's awesome.
So I will do a lot of that kind of thing.
Excellent. It would be awesome to do a crafting thing with your fans. You're like, we're going to craft.
That would be so incredible. That would be so incredible.
Right?
I actually used to do that. I would do for prizes and contests. I would make something.
Yeah.
But it takes me so long to make things, and then whenever I'm making it for someone, I tend to freak out. Are they going to like it? Do I have the colors right? Do I have the style right? Because my style's very distinct.
Yeah.
But I ended up stopping because I wouldn't get it done.
I know. I have the same problem. I start something and I put it away, and then I take it out again, and then months go by, and it's like, oh, you need to finish. It's hard. It's very hard to do that. Are there any favorite covers of yours from the Sexy Seals? Is there like any that are just you're obsessed with?
I love the cover of A Seal's Pleasure.
Yeah.
The hero is just delicious. I love the cover. Oh, A Seal's Kiss.
Yes.
That cover made me melt. Yeah. It's just, there's something about the hero, the swimming pool, that it's, I think that probably is my favorite cover.
Yeah.
If I had to like narrow it down, which I really don't want to because I love them all.
They're all very
But that
steamy.
one might be my favorite.
Yeah, very intimate and steamy.
Yeah.
Very intimate.
Yeah, I've been lucky. I've had gorgeous covers.
Now, where can we find you on social media? If you're doing giveaways or telling fans about stuff, do you prefer Twitter or Facebook? Where can we find you out there?
I'm much better with Facebook. It's hard for me to keep anything to 144 characters.
Yeah.
You could ask my editor. I always overwrite. Like I can't stay that word count. So I'm not on Twitter quite as much, but I'm on Facebook quite a bit, and I have fun on Facebook because we do like a Wednesday giveaway.
Yeah.
Every Wednesday, we have giveaways that other authors will do with me. I do flash giveaways just depending on what I have going on at the time, and if I have like 20 minutes to sit down and during the day. Most of my stuff is done at night. I write at night, so that's when I am on Facebook more often than not.
Yeah.
And not a whole lot of people are up at 3 o'clock in the morning for some reason.
No, yeah. It depends. I find Facebook, I see a lot of people on like midday, like lunch break. They're like, all right, it's time to look around.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, they take their break and they go in and check it out, which is always awesome.
Yeah.
I don't get in there as often as I'd like.
Yeah. We have a question from Sherry, and she says, you are so busy with the seals. Are you planning to do any more with your witches?
Yes. I will have, I made this promise to a reader actually at conference. She
Awesome.
nailed me down. That I have, in my Karma Cafe series, I will have the 3rd Karma Cafe out before the end of the year. And then I am planning Anya's story. So it will be next year. I just don't know when.
Awesome.
So yes, I do. Karma Cafe has more to come.
Thanks for the question, Sherry. Now, this was a question I just thought of. I don't know if I've ever asked anyone this before. Do you remember writing your first love scene? Like, is there anything that sticks out?
Yeah.
You're like, yep, definitely.
I feel like I was cheating on my husband. It was the weirdest thing. I had so much trouble with that. Not with, the idea of writing a sexy love scene, but it weirded me out. So I did, I found that the way to deal with that is I put an element of my husband in every hero. So it will be either a phrase he uses or a preference or, personality trait. As long as I put that in there, I do okay with it. But otherwise, writing the love scenes, when I first started writing, I had targeted that I wanted to write for Temptation. And just before I sold, Temptation closed. And I was told, well, you need to write for Blaze. And it's like, oh, I can't do that. The stories are way too sexy. I can't write that sexy. Um,
But you did.
I was told to step it up. I did.
Like, come on.
Yeah, here, do it.
Like, come on. You got
Yeah,
that.
like no excuses. Okay.
That's awesome.
So,
Michelle, we have another viewer question from Michelle Huang. She says, do the models ever fit the descriptions of the heroes for the cover of the books? I think so, probably.
sometimes they do. I would say my covers have been about 75% spot on with what I would think the hero would look like.
Wow.
And then there's some that are just like, whoa, okay, that didn't even come close. But
Yeah.
I'm sure there are reasons they use that particular model
Exactly.
or what in that particular direction.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been really blessed. I
Yeah.
have had not just gorgeous covers, but accurate covers.
Mm-hmm. Now, Anna has a question. She says, you have so many great sexy seals. How do you decide which one to write next?
Whoever's loudest. In my head, I will always, as I'm working on, for instance, when I was writing Seal's Temptation, Mr. Wizard kept popping up. It would be comments he'd make, it'd be things he'd say. It was Taylor Powell, and so I knew his story would be next.
Mm-hmm.
But also in the back was kind of but then as I was writing that, which will be out next February, it's the Seal's Touch. There was one character he was cowboy, and he was so sexy, and he's just a total player. He's was just this amazing character in my head that he came to life, and they just get my attention.
Yeah.
As I'm working on one story, the other one will kind of be jumping around, going, "Yo, me, I'm next,"
Crazy.
and that's how it goes.
I love that. Now,
I like to think I have control, but I know better.
yeah, it's your own little world, and then suddenly someone says, "No, you're forgetting about me." So interesting.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what you're working on next? What do we have to look forward to?
Well, the Seal's Touch will be February of next year, and then the Seal's Desire is the one I'm writing right now, and that will be a summer release. I'm not sure if it's June or July. And I'm also working on right now, it'll be the Seal's Highest Bidder. It's going to be an online read on Harlequin, which I'm having fun with. It's a real short read, but I'm playing with, a hunk auction, a bachelor auction.
Yeah.
And so that's fun. That'll be, I think it's running December and January. So it's free on harlequin.com.
Oh, wow.
And then after that, I'm moving, I'm going to be working on a couple of HQNs. So I'm bringing my seals up into bigger books, bigger stories. The first one is tentatively titled The Seal's Betrayal.
Yeah.
And it'll be out. I'm not sure when HQN will be publishing it, but it's a much bigger book. It's going to be a lot meatier, a lot more emotional depth, and I can, a lot more stuff.
Wow. You're working on a ton of stuff. That's amazing. So exciting. And you guys heard it here first. If anyone wants to join in my rapid fire questions, I have a few quick things, and if any viewers want to put in their own, feel free. So here's the rapid fire. Arms or abs?
Abs. Oh, arms. Oh.
You're like, both.
Wait, mine or his?
His.
Oh, arms. Okay.
Okay. Good guys or bad guys?
Bad boys.
Yeah. Sports cars or motorcycles?
We have muscle cars.
Sure.
Sports cars, but big block engines.
Yes.
The really big. Yeah.
That's like the happy medium. I love it. Tattoos or piercings?
Tattoos.
Mm-hmm. Beard or clean-shaven guy?
For my seals, clean shaven because they have to be.
Yeah.
But there's something sexy about it. A little scruff is always good.
Yeah, awesome. Funny guy or serious guy?
Funny guy. I like a guy who makes me laugh.
Okay. Now here's some for you that's not like sexy man related. So beach or forest?
Forest.
Okay.
Sorry.
Lipstick or eyeliner?
Eyeliner.
So, yep. You need it. It's essential, right?
Yeah. My eyes disappear.
Dogs or cats?
Oh, my cat's not in here right now. Dogs. I have 3.5 dogs. I love my dogs.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's my rapid fire. That was fun. And we've come to the end of the questions, and I just wanted to thank you again for joining us. It was a great time, and I want to let everybody know that we're giving away a copy of A Seal's Temptation right here, guys. And we're also giving away beautiful dog tag necklace set with a ring. It's deployment jewelry made by Miss Ashley Jewelry. She's on Etsy, and she has a website. So please stop by booktrib.com and enter to win. And thank you so much, Tawny. It was great.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And thank you to everyone who's checking out the book.
Yeah, thank you guys for chiming in and asking questions. Have a great day, guys.
Bye. I appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye-bye.